Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we are going to talk about Marvel's Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Season 5, Episode 21. It's called The Force of Gravity. So, full spoilers for the episode, as always. And we do not know if it's been renewed yet. That is probably the first thing you want us to mention quickly before we even get into the episode.
The news of the week is that there was suspiciously no news.
Because I said last week, we should know by next week, because I rightly said that Friday was when all the renewals and cancellations were going to happen, and they did all happen, with the one exception of Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D.
Yeah.
So, what does that mean? It means that there's probably a reasonable chance that it's been delayed because they're still negotiating, which is a good sign, because it means they're actually trying to.
It means someone wants to keep it.
Someone wants to renew it.
We don't know which side, but one of them wants it.
Yeah, maybe both sides. Maybe it's just negotiating price. Maybe
It could be, yeah.
Let's get the budget up. Let's get the budget down. Depending on which side it is.
At least on some level, there is a fight for its survival.
Yes, on some level, someone is fighting for it, and that's good. But it means we have to. The frustrating part is having to wait an extra few days. Now, the actual upfronts where they announce things on like a stage, that is, I think, Tuesday. So we should find out by the end of Monday, because they always say in advance. So we should know by the end of Monday if it's coming back.
There's always a danger, isn't there?
I say should, but
yes.
We
were too confident last week, apparently.
Yeah, that's why I'm just making sure I put the word should in there.
Yes.
Don't come off as as arrogant and know-it-all or anything like that. You know, keep it.
You'd never come off like that, do you?
I do not. You shut your face. No one's as humble as me, Connor. No one.
No one ever is.
So this episode, where to begin? Because the characters kind of split up. We have, of course, Coulson and May on the big alien ship. Sky's kind of there as well, but she's kind of in the faraway black room. Although the twist halfway through is that she's actually just knocked out, and her consciousness has just been beamed into said room. And then we have Deke on the ship with Davis. And they're there.
Telling the story again that we didn't hear.
Yeah, Dave is still telling this great story, and he's like, man, that's the greatest story I've ever heard. And I noticed he said, oh, well, if I didn't do that, it would have killed me. It. Not him or her or they. Yeah. It.
I'm like, what is this magnificent story? They're setting us up for a spin-off show.
My money right now is a shark. I think he fought a shark.
Any particular reason why shark?
It's just the funniest thing I can think of. I mean, sure, tiger would work, sure, gorilla would be fine, but shark is the funniest.
I don't think I can argue with that.
That's my guess at this juncture. So we got that, and then, of course, Talbot, or Gravitron as he's known in the comics, yes, as we speculated last week, this is a character in the comics that he's kind of turned into.
Oh yeah, the suit was a giveaway.
Yeah.
It's still Talbot, I don't care about the name.
Oh yeah, I'm still going to call him Talbot as well, but that's the thing. And then Mac and Yo-Yo are back in the lighthouse, kind of figuring, as are Fitz and Simmons actually, they're doing sciencey things. So everyone's kind of in pairs, everyone's sort of paired off somewhere.
Yeah, it's a very fractured episode in that sense.
Yes, it's the penultimate episode, of course, of the season, so I was expecting some setup for what's to come, and I was surprised that they actually wrapped up a couple of elements, when I thought, everything will just be there for the finale now, but no, Kovas is kind of wrapped up, that alien ship is wrapped up. Obviously Talbot's still got his superpowers, and he's going nuts, so...
We've still got Talbot and the destruction of the world to deal with for the end of the season.
Destruction of the world, and of course the fate of Coulson is the other main thing, which is what the cliffhanger really... drives home more than anything.
It leaves us on the personal rather than the big end of the world.
Yes. Which I think is always a good option. It's always a valid option because we care about the characters a lot, and that'll always hit a little bit harder than just the world might end.
Oh, of course. Always.
So where we begin? So Daddy Cassius is talking to Sky, and it's funny how soon as she hears the name, like Cassius. He's like, yeah, I've heard of you. And then, later on when she's like, you know what, I know your two sons are cowards and they're going to die horribly. I'm going to kill them.
He seems legitimately unsettled by that as well.
Yeah, he's like, what? Because I assume his sons exist. Maybe they're kids right now, because obviously if they've been living this long...
I assume they're a long-lived race.
Because we know that he's still alive in the future, so... And it's 70-odd years, so... it makes sense that they might be little toddlers right now. It's like, what? What's happening? But no, she goes to fight, and I like how she checks for like the implant again. She's like, wait, my powers aren't working. Did he
Yeah.
put the thing in me? And it turns out no. I think my only criticism of this is there's no real,
Set up for the virtual reality world.
not so much the virtual reality world, because that doesn't really. I mean, it's just alien tech, whatever. It doesn't really bother me.
It didn't bother me though, but because there was no hint that this was a thing, right? It was just like, oh, here you go, she's in there.
That doesn't really. I don't know. It's fine. Like, it's just so that you can talk to her while she's knocked out. I was like, I'll accept it. My only critique of this would be that when she breaks out of it, like I thought what was going to happen, because she sort of like it gets like you get a close up of her hands. I thought she was going to quake so hard that her physical body in the real world was going to quake, and that would like wake her up because it would send her into the ceiling.
Right.
And like maybe knock out the other guys. Instead, it just cut to the real world, and the little like chip in her head just kind of cracked in half, as if she just had the willpower to like make herself wake up, which is fine. But
I think the impression is she quaked her body like internally almost.
okay, all right.
Like she's trapped in her mind, and this thing's on her head, so she's quaking like there almost.
Okay. All right.
I think that was supposed to be the impression that I got anyway, but
yeah, I didn't quite get that, but I mean, it sounds plausible enough. I just felt like it was she wills herself to wake up. But I don't know.
I think it's the fact that it actually cracks, and the vibrations is her power. So that's where I kind of took that leap.
A little visual effect, a little ripple or something.
Might help, yeah.
With a help there or something. I don't know. Or even just shake the camera really quickly.
No, that's true. It was. I think it was the clenching the hand motion, and the close up on the hand was very much, it's like the Quake powers, right?
Yeah. She's trying to do something. It was just I didn't think it was very clear what she did.
Yeah, no, I think it could have been better. I said I took the leap, but I'm not saying that's definitely what happened because I'm not certain.
Yeah, and meanwhile, Coulson and May in a cell, talking things over. Basically, how do we get out of here? This is not on you, Coulson. Yes, it is. Talbot needed our help, and we weren't there for him. So on and so forth.
It's like, yeah, we were in the future. It's like, yeah, well, whatever.
And eventually, Deke comes and gets them. Deke actually flees because Talbot takes the ship. So he comes running in. Talbot takes the Quinjet, and Deke comes right down. He's like, okay, where's Sky? Waiting to find Sky, because obviously he's got his big crush. So they go looking for her, and comedy highlight of the episode was probably the look on Sky's face as Coulson and May were kissing, and
in the slow motion.
In slow motion, because obviously she's like quaking guys behind them round the corner, and some alien starts shooting at them, and Coulson just puts his shield up. We've seen it before.
I think I would say would really like to have seen that shield a bit more. I feel like we haven't seen it that often.
A few times, yeah.
Yeah, I feel it's so useful. Yeah, it's like every so often it's like, oh yeah, I've got that.
Yeah, but he puts the shield up to stop the bullets, and he obviously pulls May close so that they're both behind the shield, and then they're right up and close, bodies pressed together. He's like, "Oh, screw this! I'm going for a kiss." He doesn't say that out loud, obviously. I elaborate sometimes the thoughts in their heads as if they were words. It's something I do, and they're kissing in slow motion. The music's swelling up, and Sky in slow motion comes round the corner, and then notices it has this kind of like
shock face,
huh? And then just in slow motion, squeezes past them to get in front of the shield so she can go fight the aliens. We don't even really see the alien fight happening. We're focused on the kiss.
Yeah, it just kind of happens in the corner, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then later on, she's got that smirk on her face, and she's like, "Oh, so you made it with me?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Just.
He's like, not now.
Yeah. This is good stuff. So that was all very amusing. It's very because as we're talking about the plots, I'm like, yeah, there was only like a few scenes in each one because it was so split up.
It was, and I think this is a case of okay, we're going into the last episode. Let's get everything ready, and so we have to deal with every character to go right. Okay, where are they? Where are they? Where are they?
Yeah, where are they? Where's their journey? Because to its credit, like I feel like getting at the finale. Okay, so we have Coulson. He coughs up blood. He's dying. Fitz and Simmons have been working on this serum, from the body plus the centipede stuff. And okay, this might work. It'll take a few days to synthesize. And they even theorize actually. Fitz, despite the fact that he's the one who thinks they can't break the loop, says, "Well, sure. Yo-Yo said that we have to let Coulson, or we can't try and save Coulson, right?" And he interprets that and says, Well, what if it's not so much that Coulson has to die, it's that we have to actually save him? Like, we have to succeed.
And I'm just there going, oh, Fitz, what are you doing?
You're
playing right into it.
But of course, they end up with this big ultimatum at the end, where okay, so we can kill Talbot, because Talbot throughout the episode just basically shows clearly that he is going more and more delusional, and he is getting more and more dangerous, and he cannot be controlled to the point where everyone's just kind of accepting we're probably going to have to kill him. Like, there's not really much we can do at this point. Yeah. And Fitz and Simmons are like, okay, we can use the centipede thing to, like, you know, because just inhaling the drug, the alien drug, isn't going to be enough. He's going to have to, like, be inserted right into his cells, and we can use the centipede stuff to do it.
Yeah, bind it to that, essentially.
And like, no, wait, that was the last centipede stuff we ever got. Like, it's you know, it's like, oh, so we've got this choice. Yeah, we can save Coulson or save the world. And as much as I love Coulson, that feels like an obvious choice to make for. It
does. Do you know what the problem is? I can see Fitz going, well, here's my argument. We save Coulson, and that future doesn't happen. Therefore, we must find another way to save the world.
That's very well what he may argue. Yes, that's very well what may happen. It's fascinating, because obviously that's the big cliffhanger. There's obviously the little post scene that we always get, but that's the big cliffhanger. And going into it, there's a lot more references to what's going on in New York. The opening sort of chunk of Infinity War.
Yeah, I know they confirm that the last 3 episodes, these 3 all happen over the space of the Infinity War movie, because that's 24 hours, give or take.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, because it's not been that much time passed since last episode. And Talbot references the Avengers again comparing himself, saying, I don't need no hammer or power armor, I could just fly.
It was funny enough, you know how we always talk about network shows kind of typically pass real time, and S.h.i.e.L.D. we always assume does as well, right?
I think for the most part, this season's been really different, though, because of the time travel, because of everything else that's been going on.
But we always kind of make that assumption. In the interview, he was saying how they're explicitly always been told you are not allowed to, make any reference to timings, because as a rule, the Marvel movies aren't allowed to. Which is why when it came to Avengers and it's Spider-Man: Homecoming with the actual, dating them, like they with this many years since X event. They were like, no, this is. They were like, oh, this is unfair. We're always told you're never allowed to do this.
Oh, they actually retconned that. The Russo said that was non-canon because in Infinity War they specifically say it's been 6 years since Avengers, which makes sense. If you're going to do it, just make it real time, give or take.
Right. The Spider-Man one always felt just like a mistake.
Yeah, because it said 8 years since Avengers, and it was like, what? But
yeah, it murkied it, didn't it?
Yeah, so basically, like they've just said, yeah, that's not canon. Don't ignore that caption. And it wouldn't surprise me if they even remove that in future. Like, I wouldn't surprise me if you go buy it on iTunes and that caption is just suddenly not there anymore.
Change to 5.
Yeah, change to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Solves the problem.
So anyway, where's it going? So Talbot's going around. He goes to see his kid. And he's like, oh, I'm a superhero now. And that's when, Yo-Yo and Mac, like, they find him, they come up, they try, and I'm like, guys, you're screwed. You're not going to be able to take him on. It's
when they're shooting all the bullets, and there comes a point where I think it's Mac's like, hey, everyone stop. Because you just see all the bullets swirling around him, and it's like, yeah, this is going to go badly.
Yeah, and obviously before that, he'd already lifted up the cars. That was full-on X-Men 2 vibes I was getting from that.
Yeah.
And then he flies off. He's like, yeah, I'm going to fix all this.
I will say, if he really wanted to kill them with those bullets, he wouldn't just shoot them at the car. He can just, with his control of the bullet, they can go around corners.
Yeah, they can. Arguably, he's making more of a point than he is trying to kill them.
Yeah, I'm saying if he really wanted to.
Yeah. But I think he's happy to just make the point. Of course, who he does kill, though, is the Absorbing Man, because he wants more Gravitonium, so he makes him turn into Gravitonium and then absorbs the Absorbing Man.
It's a pretty good plan.
So that's what he does. So now he's got more Gravitonium. He's all souped up. He's even Super Talbot now. He's Super Talbot.
A whole extra body full.
Yeah, so... Yeah, and basically at the end of the post scene, he's got Robin, and he wants to know how he opens the world up, because he wants to get something to come out from underneath the world. Yeah,
it's not how he opens up, it's where. And I think the assumption here is, okay, where's the rest of the Gravitonium? We know he goes, I know there's more under there.
Yeah.
I just want to know whereabouts it is so he can get it and get more power.
Yes, which you have to imagine might lead to
some earth cracking.
Yeah, some earth cracking. Yes. Unless a certain event from Infinity War, which we talked about heavily last week, solves all this problem.
I very much hope it doesn't.
That would be really funny though.
That would feel really cheap.
If there was about to crack the world in half and then just...
Yeah. That's cheap, right? Piss off. Don't even put that as an idea in my mind.
I think it could work. in a kind of funny way. I think it could work.
In the kind of, we'll slap you in the face in the final episode sort of way, yeah.
It depends how they play it, I think.
Yeah.
Because it would mean that he's coming back later, right? It would mean that there's going to be more of him.
Yeah, but... no, don't do that. just don't do that. If they're going to do that, not to Talbot specifically, do it after Talbot has been defeated.
Yeah, or maybe like, does it work though if if they try and stop Talbot like multiple ways and he's just unstoppable, they can't do it and they think all hope is lost, and then it happens to Talbot and then they're all happy, then they turn around and see someone else and it's like, oh shit, what's happening?
No, I think ultimately if it's not our hero saving the day, I'm gonna feel cheated, no matter what. That is ultimate Deus Ex Machina.
Well, it's Deus Ex Machina, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing per se. If the point of, say, the story of next season is that they didn't save the day and they failed.
But here's the thing. We don't know if they're getting a next season. They didn't know that when they wrote this.
No, that is true. That is true. I'm just saying, it's not necessarily 100% definitely a bad thing if it happened. You like to make ultimatums. You like to put a line. You like to put a line in the sand and say, if they do this, this is bad, and I'll hate it.
But because I genuinely, on this one, I think if my heroes for this show in the final season finale and maybe the final season are not the ones saving the day, what's the point?
Because they think they're going to get another season.
They don't though. They didn't when they were making it, and you know it. That's why they've publicly said this works as the last episode.
Which is why it's probably not going to happen, so calm down.
You shouldn't have put it in my head.
But it's funny.
It's made me angry. I'm just angry at the possibility of it.
No, it's funny. May ends up teaming up with Deke because Deke can read a couple of numbers in this language. He knows zero through 5. Yes.
Yeah, he's like, I know 5 numbers. It's like, 0, 2, I suppose. So that's 6.
Yeah. So we get a sort of comical scene where he's dancing around trying to dodge the fight as May's taking on Kovas. Yeah. And May is just delighted to be in combat again. And you can, because she was injured at the start of the season because she had a real injury, her leg was actually injured, so they had to sort of nerf her in the show.
It feels like that's healed now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it feels like it's been enough time now. It's healed. So for the last couple of episodes, we get May back to actually kicking some ass, and she. There's a cool scene where she takes on 2 of them on her own, and at the end,
Deke jumps in and helps with the belt.
Yeah, and then he's got just the last Kovas. She's got these 2 little knives, and he's got these big swords. And it's like, oh, she's holding her own. She's doing this, and then it's like, yeah, he fires the missiles, and she's like, well, we changed the target. It's like, what? And he turns around, the missiles are turning around.
Yeah, Deke's like, I know 0. Home point.
Yeah. No, I get it. 0 point of departure, origin, so that's pretty funny, and then they end up there. So all of our characters are separate, but they all kind of come back together by the end. Everyone comes to home base. Yeah,
there's a lot of really meta references in this episode too. Like when Fitzsimmons are talking about Centipede, they're like, oh, hey, that was one of our first cases. Isn't it weird? We come full circle at the end.
They actually said full circle. Yeah, there was some of that going on. Which is why I think if we're getting another season, and the chances seem reasonable. I'm fairly optimistic now.
I'm not optimistic, but I'm not pessimistic either. I'm just I really don't know how it's
50-50 then, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to decide as I was saying. I'm like, where do I fall?
No, I think... At the very least, it's 50-50 now. Whereas, before, a couple of months ago, I wouldn't have said it was 50-50. I'd have said slim that we were getting another season.
Yeah, the chances have increased over the past couple of months. That's a certainty.
So, 50-50. But I think that's why, if we do get the show back, I think this is still going to be the end of an era in some way. And, if that means someone's dying, if that means, okay, we've come full circle, that era of the show's done, so now we start a new, fresh chapter. Another character kind of beat we need to discuss is that Fitz and Mac are still in a kind of a weird place. When he comes in to ask some questions, there's this tension, and Simmons at the end she's almost like the mum looking at Fitz at the end, like, okay, what's going on between you two?
I think it's really interesting because Mac doesn't have this, because it was Fitzsimmons and Yo-Yo who conspired against Mac essentially.
Yeah.
And Mac kind of, we know he's fine with Yo-Yo, pretty much. I mean, it's not as good as it was before. It's not perfect, but
it seemed better this episode than last.
Yeah, but he's on reasonable terms with her. Simmons, he kind of seems okay with. He's not really had much with her since then.
Well, I think. Well, I don't think it was ever equal though. I think you're talking about this. Oh, it's because they all conspired against him. His beef with Fitz goes a bit deeper than that because of everything Fitz has been like since they came back.
Yeah. I think it's not even just that. I don't think. I think it's more just he had this different relationship with Fitz. They've been friends for like longer.
It's more personal.
Yeah, they were like best friends for however long. Like Mac was there for him when Fitz had the brain damage.
Yeah. No, that's definitely there, and I think it's just the idea of like that whole debate they had last episode about the person you've been needs fixing since you came back, since we got out of the framework, and certainly since you did that thing to Sky and everything else. Like, you're crossing a dangerous line. You're on that line, and you have to come back from it.
Which is something I think that we're not going to get reconciled this season. Ultimately, maybe to some level between Mac and Fitz. But I think if we do get another season, I think Fitz's arc will be, assuming he survives, will be going through and having some sort of I don't want to say redemption, but finding himself a bit more.
I will guarantee you there is at least a moment in the finale where they have, I don't want to say reconciliation, but there'll be a moment where they have to work together in some way.
Not reconciliation, more acceptance.
There'll be possibly more than acceptance. It depends. Like, I feel like there'll be a moment, at the very least, there'll be a moment between them that says, hey, we can mend this. Maybe we're not there yet, but we can mend this relationship again.
I agree with that, yeah.
I don't think I think it'd be insane to think, given what they've set up in this episode and last episode, that there won't at least be one moment where there's hope for this.
I don't think it'll be fully fixed, but I think there will be a sign. And again, should we continue, Fitz's arc will be trying to become the better man again.
Yeah. So yeah, it was very much the setup for the finale, and that's not really a criticism because most of it was pretty entertaining.
It's weird because it's a very enjoyable episode, but it's also one of the least satisfying episodes as an episode on its own.
Yeah, because it's all set up.
Yeah, but all of it is pretty enjoyable, so I have very little to complain about.
Yeah, no, it's the sort of thing where previous seasons have had double finales, and I feel like maybe this was supposed to be.
Yeah, I can see it.
But for whatever reason, it's not. For whatever reason, we're getting them one per week. Because in the past, I don't know if last season was, it might not have been because they split up into 3 arcs, but seasons 2 and 3 for sure had double finales, where they aired them together.
Yeah.
So I wonder if, like, maybe this will, and we always say this, but, binge watching this, certainly.
Yeah, this is only a criticism once, when I say something about an individual episode, but we're watching it weekly, so it's worth noting.
Yeah, so, but no, that's S.h.i.e.L.D. this week. We got the finale next week, and we will definitely know by the time it airs next week if it's coming back or not.
Oh God, I hope so.
We should definitely know that because they have to.
If we don't, then there will be some
because I mean, I don't think the deadline's before then, but there is a deadline where they have to announce it, otherwise the cast get released from the contract. So they have, so they have this, which is why it has to be announced for the upfronts. So. We will know. We should know by the end of Monday. So here's hoping that we come back for season 6. But if not, or regardless, we'll be here for the finale next week. So let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/mailedfuzztv. You can do that over there. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching. Keep watching TV, guys. Have you got any vanilla?